everyone, welcome back to Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. My name is Stacy. I have another Valentine's Day craft for you. And I don't usually do very much in the way of Valentine's Day crafts, but I've been having some fun making some things for my channel this year. So I'm trying to keep things kind of neutral so that I can use them past Valentine's Day. Hearts can be used whenever, you just can't have all this tinselly stuff on them. So this is a Dollar Tree decor piece. It has 3 hearts on it that are hooked together with just some little plastic chains. So the first thing I need to do, and I'm going to be using some cotton twine, also from the Dollar Tree. And this particular jute is not from the Dollar Tree. I don't know what I did with my package of jute from the Dollar Tree. So I'll be using this, and hopefully I have enough there. And so the first thing I want to do is take these hearts apart. And they're just on with a little plastic link. So I'm just pulling those off. Okay, so I've got 3 separate hearts, and I'm going to take the hanger off of this one. I don't like that color of red anyway. And have some fun trying to find the end of the tinsel. Alright, so now that I have all 3 of those taken off, my last heart that I did that I covered, these pegs were hard to cover. So I'm going to clip them off. I'm not going to clip them off flush. I'm going to let them just a little bit remain, just to kind of help hold this string on, but for the most part, I'm going to clip those off. Okay, so I've got the nubs off of the outsides of all of them. I didn't worry about the ones in here because I plan on just wrapping across the heart. We'll just have to see how the shape is. And then I also thought I might put a little insert in here, so that would leave that depression, that would give something to glue to. So the first one I'm going to attempt, and I have not done one of these before with the string, so I'm going to see how it works. So I took my cotton string and I tied a knot around that little circle at the bottom of the heart form, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in there just to keep that put in place. And I'm going to put a little glue up here on the crossbar because that's where I want this string to stay put at. And I'm going to pull that really tight and make sure that that string stays right on top of that. Okay, and I'm going to wait till that glue sets before I go any farther. Alright, now I want to kind of try to wrap this, making it like have a twist in it. So my string, as it comes around, is going to go on at the bottom. It's going to go on the left hand side of the middle, and I'm going to put just a little dot of glue there. It's going to take a little bit of glue at the very first to get it to stay where you want it, and because just of the shape of the heart. And I'm pulling it right next to the one that's there, and I'm holding it into the glue until it hardens, because I need it to stay right there. And then up here, I'm going to put a little dot of glue, and it's going to come to the right of that string. And as I wrap it like this, it will make a little bit of a twist. And I'm going to need to to add glue here and there for a little bit, just to keep it where it's going to go. And that includes down here on the point. It's just not staying where it needs to stay. I just want to get it started correctly. And once it gets started, it'll stay in its own spot, but it just takes a little bit because of the shape. And then this goes up here, and then down here. And these little nubs are not being very helpful. I'm going to try trimming these nubs off just a little bit more. Okay, then around. Gotta be careful on this one, or I'll cut my yarn or my string. I'll do that. Okay. So it's working pretty well up top and down below, and up top, down below, top. So I'm going to continue wrapping like that, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, I'm about halfway. I thought I'd stop and let you see how it's going. I'm getting quite a nice twist look in there. It's even twisting on the back, so it's going to be two-sided, and it's going to look really good. I'm going to keep twisting, and I'll be back. Alright, I'm just about done. I had some yarn or some thread slip, so I'm kind of just working my way back to catch the pieces up here at the top that I didn't get covered. And I've got a good glob of glue down here on the point, and I'm trying to get some glue in on the pieces where it's slipped so that it can be a little better. And I'm just kind of holding it till it attaches, and then I'm going to secure it back here on the back side. I'm just going to rub that off, clip the end, and push down the point. Alright, since this is Valentine's Day, I think this is going to need a little bit of color. It's a little bland the way it is, but for a two-tier tray during the spring, it'll look great as a backdrop to some of the brighter colors. But for Valentine's Day, I want to use it kind of in a vignette kind of a thing with the other heart that I made. I'm going to start with 5 beads and see how it looks. These beads came from a box that I got at a thrift store, but you can get a good container of unfinished beads at Michael's for $9.99. It's probably about, no, not quite this many. They have 2 different sizes. They have a mixture of larger size beads and a mix of really teeny tiny beads. And they're $9.99. And if you use a 40 or 50% off coupon, then I think you're good to go. I don't know. What do we think? I just don't want to hide. About this way. I don't want to hide all that work I did on the twist. But it needs some color, so I'm kind of stuck. But I like the idea of there being beads on it, so that all of the hearts I do in this vignette would be with beads. What if I went crisscross? Yeah, let's add a couple more beads. I'm going to go up to 7 on this one and see. There we go. I like that. That way it still shows the cross of the thread or the string, and it shows, and it has the beads that go across it. I think I like that, so I'm going to clip my string, turn it over to the back, and tie a knot. This way, if I want to take the beads off or change it up a little bit, I can absolutely do that because it's not attached with glue. It's just tied on. And I think that's going to look nice with that one. Okay, so I'm going to clip these. And I still think it needs some color though. So to add a pop of color, I found these two little wooden hearts that have been painted red, and they had a hole in them already, so I'm threading them onto a piece of the same cotton string, and I'm just kind of deciding how long I want them, and then I'm just tying a knot. The knot, or the hole in the heart, is pretty small, so just a regular little knot is going to work nicely. So I just have a piece of string with a knot on each end and a wooden heart on each end. Okay, and then I'm just simply going to tuck it under right in the middle. And I'm just wrapping it between the beads, and then I'm going to let it hang, and hopefully they're going to land at different. Alright, there. Now I think that is this heart finished. And we still have two more hearts that we need to cover. Okay, so I'm going to use some twine that I already had. I'm hoping that it works. I can't find the package from the Dollar Tree that I bought to do this project with, but you're going to want a small spool, and the Dollar Tree spools I think would be perfect for this, because you're going to need to pass it through the middle of the heart. Okay, so that's why I think it would be best to have the Dollar Tree spools, because if you buy that 3-pack that you find in the hardware section, those spools are smaller and they will fit through here nicely. So I'm a little nervous about this one, but we're going to give it a shot. Oh, and I also hot glued the end down up here in the V of the heart. And I'm just going to wrap, and it's going to take a little bit passing that twine back through every single time. But, you know, you do it once, you have a pretty, and you keep it. I think that these can be, I think these will be casual enough and not so much Valentine decoration, that when I go to decorate for spring, that these hearts will fit in there totally fine, like sticking a rose on them or a butterfly or something like that. So yes, this is going to take some time, but this is potentially something you could keep out all year round. So I'm going to keep wrapping this, and I'll come back in a little bit. Okay, now that I've gotten my heart wrapped, I'm just putting a touch of glue on the back. If you don't like the three-dimensional rounded look of it, you can flip it over to the back. Just make sure that your back is the nicer looking side and that you do your gluing on the other side. And I like it either way, but I do want to put something in the middle. Instead of putting something in the middle, I do have this trim that I got on clearance at Walmart after Christmas. I think it was last year. So I'm thinking if I put this inside here, it will accent the inside of the heart, and it will cover up the rest of those green knobs that I didn't cut off because I thought they would be useful, and they are proving not to be. And then I'm going to put another piece of trim on the back just so that it will look nice. Now the heart does look nice from both sides. Okay, but I still want some color in there. Here's what I've decided to do in the middle of this one, is I'm going to use some of these wooden stickers from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use one that is pink, and one, I'm not sure if I want red. I think that's going to make it too Valentine-y for the rest of the year. So I'm going to use the pink one and a plain one. What I'm going to do is loop the string around like this and then sandwich my heart on the string. Okay, so I need to get the string to the right length. And then I'm going to lay down the back one, which is, you know what, I'm going to take these glue dots off. So I want the pink one to be in the front, so I'm going to start with the natural colored one, and I'm going to place it in the middle of my heart where I want it to be, and I'm going to put a line of glue. And then I'm going to press the twine into that glue. And I'm going to let that harden for a minute. Alright, sorry about that. I had to change the battery on my glue gun. So now I've got to figure out for sure where exactly I want that heart to end up hanging. And I need to figure out how long I want this second piece of string to be. And snip that off. Then I'm going to put another bead of glue beside that other string, pull it over, pull the string over, or the twine, whatever, and push it in to the glue. Then I'm going to test it. I'm going to hold it up and see if it's hanging where I want it, and I think it is. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue all around on this heart, and then I'm going to take the pink one and place it on top because they are the same size and push it down. Now there's glue oozing everywhere. That's okay. Once it cools a little, just wipe it off. That's what's going to hold that on. And if I ever want to get rid of the heart in the middle, all I have to do is snip that string. So now all I have to do is clean up where I got a little crazy with the glue. And there you have it. There is the second heart to go with my big heart. Alright, I'm sorry to say I lost the footage on how I wrapped the next heart, but I wrapped it just like I did this burlap one, except for I used red chunky yarn. And I trimmed off all of the knobs using a razor blade and got them completely off. Okay, so I wrapped the rest of the heart and I just tied it together with a string that was from the beginning. And so there's a little knot on the back. And then I strung 7 beads so it would match up with the others in the vignette. And strung it across the middle. And now, just for a little bit more of a farmhouse feel, I've got this buffalo check fabric, and I'm going to glue this down onto the buffalo check so it has a little buffalo check in the back. So all I'm going to do is run a bead of glue all the way around the opening. I'm putting a little extra glue where the twine is for the beads, and I'm going to place this down, getting it as straight as possible and pushing it down on my fabric. I could have cut the fabric beforehand, but I wanted to make sure that I was getting good coverage. This one's definitely going to have a front and a back. It's not, I'm not trying to make it look perfect and beautiful. It's just the way it's going to have to be. This is a piece of fabric left over from a project I did at Christmas, so it's just hanging around, waiting to be used up. These are not the best scissors for fabric cutting, but Now I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. So it's not quite so jagged. And my heart is done. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and snip out the twine that's hanging out here because it's glued in now, so it shouldn't slide anywhere. I don't need that extra piece. Alright, so there's my third heart. Alright, here's my 3 hearts. Came from that one hanger from the Dollar Tree. They all have jute or beads on them to tie them all together. I want to put some beads on this one somehow, but I haven't quite figured out how I want to do it. But I don't know. Anyway, this has been my heart trio project. If you like this project, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so by clicking that subscribe bar at the bottom. And click the notification bell if you want to know each and every time that I upload a video. So let me know what you think of this in the comments below, and if you might try to make some of these for yourself. Like I say, each one of them took about half an hour to wrap. This one was a little easier because I didn't have to feed the loops through, but anyway, they are all very different, but they also coordinate together. And this red yarn gives it a good pop of color so that it'll show up a little bit better on the shelf. So this has been Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.